In the dead of the night, the sound of engines revving and tires screeching filled the air as a high-speed chase unfolded on the empty streets of the city. Dom Toretto, the notorious street racer turned vigilante, was behind the wheel of his iconic black Dodge Charger, speeding through the city with unparalleled skill and precision. Deckard Shaw, a skilled assassin and former British Special Forces operative, was hot on his trail in his sleek silver Aston Martin, determined to take down his rival once and for all. As the two bald adversaries raced through the city, their glowing sticks clashed in a flurry of sparks and energy, illuminating the dark streets with their intense battle. Dom's brute strength and military precision were no match for Shaw's acrobatic movements and stylish fighting style, creating a tense and thrilling showdown between the two formidable opponents. With each strike of their glowing sticks, the abandoned buildings and alleyways echoed with the sound of their clash, sending shockwaves and smoke billowing into the air. Dom's attacks were relentless and precise, causing Shaw to stagger back and struggle to defend himself against the onslaught of blows. Finally, with a swift and powerful strike, Dom landed a blow on Shaw's forehead, causing him to crumple to the ground, dazed and defeated. As Shaw lay injured and broken, Dom continued to rain down blows with his glowing stick, fracturing Shaw's leg and arm with each punishing strike. With Shaw knocked out cold, Dom disappeared into a mysterious portal, leaving behind a trail of destruction in his wake. The night fell outside the abandoned factory where their epic battle had taken place, and Shaw painfully opened his eyes, struggling to stand as he made his way outside. Weak and exhausted, Shaw stumbled towards three vehicles parked in front of him, a sports car, a van, and a motorcycle. With no time to spare, he quickly pulled out his glowing wand, casting a spell that shrunk the vehicles down to miniature toy versions. Placing them in his pocket, Shaw walked through a portal that emerged before him, transporting him back to his bedroom. As Shaw settled down for the night, he pulled out the miniature toy versions of the vehicles and used his glowing wand to create different colored headlights for each, filling the dark room with a soft and comforting glow. Meanwhile, CJ from GTA Saw, with his injured arm hanging by his side after a battle with Frank Tenpenny, silently appeared in the bedroom. CJ pulled out a miniature toy airplane and helicopter, placing them on the table near the sofa where he lay down to rest. The soft night light emitted from the toys created a peaceful ambiance in the room, as the AI voices of the vehicles and aircraft whispered comforting words to the weary warriors as they drifted off to sleep. The night was filled with the sound of engines and the glow of glowing sticks, as the fast and furious world of Dom Toretto and Deckard Shaw collided in a thrilling and epic showdown of skill and strength. As the night faded into dawn, the warriors found solace in their temporary respite, knowing that the battles of the past would continue to shape their destinies in the days to come. Words. 549. Deckard Shaw, panting heavily, you may have bested me today, Dom, but this isn't over yet. Dom Toretto, smirking, I'll be waiting for you, Shaw. Next time, you won't be so lucky. Deckard Shaw, gritting his teeth, we'll see about that. CJ, Aiden Pierce, and the miniature toy versions of vehicles watch in silence as Dom and Shaw exchange heated words before Shaw disappears into the portal. CJ, sighing, man, what a day. I need some rest. Aiden Pierce, nodding, same here. Those injuries are really taking a toll on us. They settle down on their respective sofas, the soft night light emitting from the miniature toy vehicles on the table beside them. Miniature toy sport car, I hope they'll all be okay. They've been through so much today. Miniature toy airplane, yeah, but they're tough. They'll bounce back from this. The AI voices of the miniature toys chatter softly as the characters drift off to sleep, their bodies weary from the day's events. Meanwhile, in another part of town, Frank Tenpenny sits in his lair, plotting his next move. He knows that Dom Toretto and his crew are a force to be reckoned with, but he isn't one to back down from a challenge. He calls in reinforcements, determined to take down his adversaries once and for all. Frank Tenpenny, smirking, they think they can outsmart me. They have no idea what's coming. He surveys his arsenal of weapons and gadgets, a devious glint in his eyes. He knows that the battle is far from over, and he's prepared to do whatever it takes to emerge victorious. As the night grows darker and the city falls silent, the stage is set for an epic showdown. Dom Toretto and his crew, Deckard Shaw, CJ, Aiden Pierce, and the miniature toy versions of vehicles are all gearing up for what lies ahead. The tension is palpable, the air crackling with electricity. The battle of good versus evil is about to reach its climax, with the fate of the fast and furious world hanging in the balance. Who will emerge victorious in this ultimate showdown? Only time will tell. But one thing is for certain, no matter what challenges come their way, these fearless warriors will never back down. For they are bound by a code of honor and loyalty, willing to fight to the end for what they believe in. And as the first light of dawn breaks over the horizon, signaling the start of a new day, the sound of engines revving and tires screeching fills the air. The battle is about to begin, and the fast and furious world will never be the same again. Words. 447. In the fast and furious world, the night was filled with tension as Dom Toretto found himself face to face with his longtime rival, Deckard Shaw. The two bald characters clashed with glowing sticks, creating a spectacle of light and energy that illuminated the abandoned building they were in. Deckard Shaw, known for his acrobatic fighting style, used his skills to try and outmaneuver Dom, but Dom's brute strength and military precision gave him the upper hand. As the two opponents continued to clash, the sound of their sticks hitting each other echoed throughout the building, sending shockwaves and smoke billowing into the air. Dom's attacks were relentless, and he quickly began to overpower Shaw, landing blow after blow until Shaw was left battered and broken on the floor. After defeating Shaw, Dom disappeared into a portal, leaving Shaw to recover from his injuries. With great effort, Shaw made his way outside the abandoned factory, where he found 3 vehicles waiting for him: a sports car, a van, and a motorcycle. Without hesitation, Shaw used his glowing wand to shrink the vehicles down to miniature toy versions, which he stashed in his pocket. Feeling drained and injured, Shaw made his way through a portal that led him back to his bedroom. Once there, he placed the toy vehicles on a table and used his wand to give them different colored headlights, creating a soothing ambiance in the dark room. As he settled down to rest, the AI voices of the toy vehicles whispered softly about his battles and injuries. Meanwhile, CJ from GTA Saw entered the room with his arm hanging, having recently faced off against Frank Tenpenny. He pulled out miniature toy versions of an airplane and helicopter, placing them on the table near the sofa where he planned to rest. As he closed his eyes, the AI voices of the vehicles discussed his need for relaxation after a tough fight. Aiden Pierce from Watch Dogs also appeared, walking with a cane due to his injured leg. He settled on another sofa and pulled out miniature toy versions of Thomas the Steam Locomotive, Dusty the Plane, and Lightning McQueen, setting them on the table beside him. The soft glow of the vehicle's headlights added to the peaceful atmosphere as Aiden Pierce drifted off to sleep, the AI voices murmuring about his need for rest and recovery. The room was filled with a sense of quiet camaraderie, as these tough characters found solace in each other's presence. Despite their battles and injuries, they were united in their need for rest and healing. As the night deepened, the soft glow of the miniature vehicles and the whispered conversations of the AI voices created a sense of comfort and companionship, reminding them that they were not alone in their struggles. In the event-driven story filled with thrills and creativity, the characters navigated the challenges of their world with resilience and strength, finding small moments of peace amidst the chaos. And as they slept, their dreams were filled with visions of future battles and victories, knowing that they would always have each other's backs in the fast and furious world they called home. Words. 531. It was a dark and stormy night as the characters from different worlds found themselves in the same room, each nursing their wounds from intense battles. Dom Toretto, Deckard Shaw, CJ, and Aiden Pierce were all sitting in silence, each lost in their thoughts as the AI voices of the miniature toy vehicles on the table spoke softly about their injuries. I can't believe Dom took down Shaw with just a glowing stick, CJ muttered, breaking the silence. Yeah, Dom is one tough guy, Aiden Pierce added, adjusting his injured leg on the sofa. Dom glanced over at the other two, a small smirk playing on his lips. It's all about precision and skill, my friends. Shaw's acrobatics may have been impressive, but brute strength is what wins in the end. Shaw, who had been quietly listening, finally spoke up. You may have won this round, Toretto, but the game is far from over. I'll be back, stronger than ever. CJ chuckled, shaking his head. You never learn, Shaw. It's not about being stronger, it's about being smarter. The AI voices of the toy vehicles chimed in, offering their own commentary on the situation. The Thomas the Steam Locomotive spoke in a cheerful tone, don't worry, guys. You'll all be back on your feet in no time. Just need some rest and recovery. As the characters settled in for the night, the room was filled with a sense of camaraderie. Despite coming from different worlds and having different strengths and weaknesses, they all shared a common bond of facing challenges head-on and never backing down. The night passed slowly, the soft glow of the miniature toy vehicles casting a calming light over the room. As the characters drifted off to sleep, the AI voices whispered words of encouragement and reassurance, reminding them that they were not alone in their struggles. The storm outside raged on, but inside the room, a sense of peace and unity prevailed. The characters may have been battered and bruised, but they knew that as long as they had each other, they could overcome any obstacle that came their way. And so, as the night turned into dawn, the characters slept peacefully, knowing that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, united in their bond of friendship and strength. Words. The night was quiet and peaceful, with only the soft glow of the moon filtering through the windows of the dark bedroom. Deckard Shaw, still reeling from his brutal encounter with Dom Toretto, lay on the bed, his injured arm wrapped tightly against his chest. As he drifted off to sleep, the AI voices of the miniature toy vehicles he had shrunk earlier whispered softly to each other, discussing their owners' injuries and the events of the day. Meanwhile, CJ from GTA Saw, nursing his injured arm after his own battle with Frank Tenpenny, settled down on the long sofa in the corner of the room. He pulled out a miniature airplane and helicopter, their headlights casting a soft glow on the table beside him. The AI voices of the aircraft murmured quietly to each other, keeping watch over CJ as he finally closed his eyes and drifted off to sleep. Across the room, Aiden Pierce from Watch Dogs limped over to another sofa, his injured leg causing him to lean heavily on his cane. He carefully arranged the smaller toy versions of Thomas the Steam Locomotive, Dusty the Plane, and Lightning McQueen on the table nearby. The gentle glow of their headlights illuminated the room as Aiden settled down for the night, the AI voices of the vehicles offering words of comfort and reassurance as he closed his eyes and let sleep overtake him. Nico Bellic, with his bandaged right eye, quietly entered the room and made his way to yet another spare sofa. He pulled out 6 miniature sedans, the Admiral, Elegant, Vincent, Primo, Merritt, and Washington, and arranged them neatly on the table beside him. The soft glow of their headlights provided a calming presence as Nico lay down, the AI voices of the cars speaking softly to each other as he drifted off into a well-needed sleep. As the night wore on, the room was filled with the soft murmur of AI voices, the faint glow of headlights, and the sound of gentle breathing as each of the characters rested and recuperated from the day's events. Despite their injuries and the trials they had faced, there was a sense of peace and camaraderie among them, a silent understanding that they were all in this together. In the darkness of the bedroom, a sense of unity and resilience permeated the air, binding these disparate characters together in their shared struggles and triumphs. And as they slept, surrounded by the comforting glow of their miniature vehicles, they knew that they would rise again, ready to face whatever challenges the fast and furious world had in store for them. For in that moment of rest and reflection, they found strength in each other, in their shared experiences, and in the knowledge that no matter what the future held, they would face it together, as a team united by their bond of friendship and resilience. Words. 487. The room was shrouded in darkness, the only source of light coming from the soft glow of the miniature toy vehicles on the table. Deckard Shaw, still reeling from his brutal battle with Dom Torrento, slowly made his way towards the sofa, his injured arm hanging limply at his side. As he settled down on the sofa, the AI voices of the toy vehicles started to speak in hushed tones about the events of the day. Deckard Shaw took quite a beating from Dom Torrento, said the sports car, its red headlights casting a warm glow in the dim room. He's lucky to have escaped with his life, added the van, its blue headlights flickering softly. But he won't be the same after this, chimed in the motorcycle, its green headlights casting an eerie light on the walls. Meanwhile, CJ from GTA Saw lay on the sofa, his injured arm draped over his chest. He pulled out a miniature airplane and helicopter, placing them gently on the table beside him. The AI voices of the toy vehicles spoke softly about CJ's battle with Frank Tenpenny and his need for rest and recovery. Aiden Pierce from Watch Dogs hobbled over to another sofa, his cane tapping against the floor with each step. He pulled out miniature toy versions of Thomas the Steam Locomotive, Dusty the Plane, and Lightning McQueen, placing them on the table near his sofa. The AI voices of the vehicles murmured about Aiden Pierce's injuries and the importance of rest. Finally, Nico Bellic arrived, his bandaged eye a testament to the battles he had faced that day. He settled down on the sofa, pulling out miniature versions of 6 sedans, Admiral, Elegant, Vincent, Primo, Merritt, and Washington, and placing them on the table near him. The AI voices of the cars spoke softly about Nico's injuries and the need for healing. As the room fell silent, the soft glow of the miniature vehicles cast a comforting light on the weary warriors. Each one rested, their injuries a reminder of the dangers they faced in the fast and furious world they inhabited. But for now, in the quiet of the night, they could find solace in the soft voices of their AI companions and the promise of a new day ahead. Words. 384. The night was dark and silent as the characters from different video game worlds rested in the bedroom after a long day of battles and injuries. Dom Toretto, with his glowing stick, had defeated Deckard Shaw in an intense clash, leaving Shaw heavily injured and unconscious. Meanwhile, CJ from GTA Saw, Aiden Pierce from Watch Dogs, and Nico Bellic from GTA 4 were all nursing their own wounds after facing their own foes earlier in the day. As the characters settled down for the night, the miniature toy versions of vehicles and airplanes they had collected from their world started to emit a soft glow, providing a calming ambiance to the dark room. The AI voices of the vehicles spoke in hushed tones, discussing the events of the day and the injuries their owners had sustained. CJ, with his injured right arm, lay on the sofa next to the table where his miniature airplane and helicopter rested. The soft night light emanating from the vehicles provided a sense of comfort to CJ as he closed his eyes and drifted off to sleep, the voices of the vehicles lulling him into a peaceful slumber. Aiden Pierce, with his cane and injured left leg, settled down on another sofa next to the table where his miniature toy versions of Thomas the Steam Locomotive, Dusty the Plane, and Lightning McQueen were placed. The soft glow from the vehicles illuminated the room as Aiden Pierce closed his eyes and let out a sigh of relief, finally able to rest and recuperate after a long day of battling his enemies. Nico Bellic, with his bandaged right eye, sat on yet another sofa next to the table where his collection of 6 sedans, Admiral, Elegant, Vincent, Primo, Merritt, and Washington, were lined up. The gentle light from the headlights of the vehicles provided a sense of peace and tranquility to Nico as he settled down for the night, his mind drifting off into a dreamless sleep. As the characters rested and the room fell into a peaceful silence, a sense of camaraderie and unity filled the air. Despite the battles they had faced and the injuries they had sustained, they found solace in each other's presence, knowing that they were not alone in their struggles. The night passed peacefully, with the soft glow of the miniature vehicles and airplanes casting a warm light throughout the room. The AI voices of the vehicles whispered words of encouragement and support to their owners, providing a sense of comfort and reassurance in the darkness of the night. And as the characters slept soundly, their bodies slowly healing from the wounds of the day, a sense of hope and resilience filled the room. For in the world of fast and furious battles, they had found a newfound strength in each other, a bond that would carry them through the darkest of times. And so, as the night turned into day and the characters awoke from their slumber, they knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, united in their strength and determination to overcome any obstacle that came their way. The fast and furious world may be harsh and unforgiving, but with the support and camaraderie of their fellow warriors, the characters knew that they could face whatever came their way and emerge victorious in the end. For in the world of infinite possibilities, anything was possible when they stood together as one. Words. 580. Deckard Shaw, panting heavily, you may have gotten the best of me this time, Dom, but I'll be back stronger than ever. Dom Toretto, smirks, bring it on, Shaw. I'll be ready for you. As the two adversaries continued their intense battle, the abandoned building around them began to shake and crumble from the sheer force of their clash. The glowing sticks emitted powerful shockwaves that shattered windows and sent debris flying in all directions. Meanwhile, outside the building, a mysterious figure watched the chaos unfold with a sense of amusement. It was none other than CJ from GTA Saw, who had his own battles to fight in the fast and furious world. CJ, to himself, looks like things are heating up in here. Time to make my move. With a quick flick of his wrist, CJ summoned a miniature toy version of an airplane and helicopter, setting them aglow with soft, comforting light. He then settled down on a nearby sofa, closing his eyes for some much-needed rest. As the night stretched on, another figure entered the scene. Aiden Pierce from Watch Dogs, limping on his injured left leg, made his way to a spare sofa and pulled out miniature toy versions of Thomas the Steam Locomotive, Dusty the Plane, and Lightning McQueen. The soft glow of their headlights filled the room as Aiden settled in for the night. Not long after, Nico Bellic, with a bandaged right eye, joined the group. He carefully arranged 6 miniature sedans, the Admiral, Elegant, Vincent, Primo, Merritt, and Washington, on a table near his sofa before lying down to rest. The AI voices of the toy vehicles softly murmured among themselves, discussing the injuries and battles that each character had faced throughout the day. Despite the chaos and destruction that surrounded them, there was a sense of camaraderie among these warriors of the night. Suddenly, a portal opened in the room, and Dom Toretto emerged, his glowing stick still in hand. He looked around at the sleeping figures with a mixture of exhaustion and relief. Dom Toretto, to himself, these guys have been through a lot. Time to regroup and plan our next move. With a determined expression, Dom began to strategize with CJ, Aiden Pierce, and Nico Bellic. Together, they formed a formidable team, each bringing their unique skills and strengths to the table. As the night wore on, whispers of a new threat began to circulate among the group. A shadowy figure known only as the Phantom was rumored to be making moves in the Fast and Furious world, seeking to bring chaos and destruction wherever he went. The team knew they would have to be ready for whatever challenges the Phantom threw their way. With their newfound alliance and unwavering determination, they vowed to stand strong against whatever darkness lay ahead. And so, as the stars twinkled in the night sky and the glow of the toy vehicles illuminated the room, the warriors of the night settled in for a well-deserved rest, knowing that the battle was far from over. The Fast and Furious world was filled with dangers and uncertainties, but with their strength and unity, they were ready to face whatever came their way. Words. 539. Deckard Shaw, still weak and injured from his battle with Dom Toretto, lay on the floor of the abandoned factory, his breath ragged and his head spinning. As he collected himself and made his way outside, he was met with a peculiar sight, 3 miniature toy versions of vehicles sitting before him. Confused and disoriented, Shaw couldn't help but wonder what had happened to the real cars. Using his glowing wand, Shaw cast a spell that reduced the size of the vehicles, turning them into tiny replicas of a sports car, a van, and a motorcycle. With a sense of urgency, Shaw pocketed the miniature vehicles and made his way through a mysterious portal that had appeared before him. Emerging on the other side, Shaw found himself in a dimly lit bedroom, the AI voices of the miniature vehicles speaking softly to each other as they discussed his condition. CJ from GTA Saw, Aiden Pierce from Watch Dogs, and Nico Bellic from Grand Theft Auto 4 were also present in the room, each settling down for rest after their own battles and injuries. As Shaw settled onto a sofa, he pulled out the miniaturized versions of an airplane and helicopter, adding them to the collection on the table. The soft glow of their headlights provided a calming ambiance as the tired warriors sought solace in their makeshift toys. The AI voices of the vehicles spoke in hushed tones about the day's events, recounting the battles and injuries sustained by the group. Despite their differences and past conflicts, there was a sense of camaraderie among the warriors as they found comfort in each other's company. As Shaw drifted off to sleep, the room filled with a soft, soothing light from the miniature vehicles, casting a sense of peace and tranquility over the room. The night passed peacefully, the warriors finding respite in their dreams as they prepared for the challenges that lay ahead. In the morning, as the first light of dawn crept through the windows, the warriors slowly awoke, their injuries healing and their spirits rejuvenated. The miniature vehicles stood as a reminder of the battles they had faced and the strength they had found within themselves. As they prepared to face the day ahead, the warriors shared a silent nod of understanding and respect, each knowing that they were not alone in their struggles. Together, they would face whatever challenges came their way, united in their bond forged in battle and strengthened by the trials they had overcome. As they stepped out into the world once more, the warriors carried with them the memories of the night before, a reminder of the resilience and courage that had brought them together. And as they set out on their next adventure, they knew that no matter what obstacles lay ahead, they would face them with determination, unity, and unwavering resolve. Words. 480. As the characters settled down to rest after a long day of battles and injuries, the room was filled with a tense yet peaceful atmosphere. The AI voices of the miniature toy vehicles whispered softly, discussing the events of the day and the injuries sustained by their owners. CJ, with his injured arm hanging limply at his side, lay on the sofa with a look of exhaustion on his face. The red headlights of the smaller toy sport car beside him cast a comforting glow over the room, providing a sense of companionship and safety. Aiden Pierce, leaning heavily on his cane as he settled onto the spare sofa, closed his eyes and let out a sigh of relief. The dim light emanating from the headlights of the miniature vehicles nearby created a soothing ambiance, easing the pain in his injured leg. Nico Bellic, his right eye bandaged and a look of determination on his face, gingerly sat down on the sofa and placed the 6 miniature sedans in a neat row on the table. The soft glow from their headlights provided a sense of unity and solidarity, reminding him of the battles he had fought and the strength he had shown. The AI voices of the vehicles continued to speak in hushed tones, offering words of encouragement and support to their owners as they rested and recovered from the day's events. The room was filled with a sense of camaraderie and mutual respect, as each character silently acknowledged the sacrifices and bravery of the others. As the night wore on, the characters drifted off to sleep, their bodies weary but their spirits strong. The soft glow of the miniature vehicle's headlights filled the room with a sense of peace and tranquility, a reminder that even in the midst of darkness and turmoil, there is always light and hope. And so, in the quiet stillness of the darkened bedroom, the fast and furious world faded away, replaced by the gentle hum of the AI voices and the soft glow of the headlights, a reminder of the bonds that connected them all. And as they slept, their dreams were filled with visions of victory and triumph, a testament to their courage and resilience in the face of adversity. Words. 377.